$555 is no joke, even if you are a member. What does it cost? Like 540 something?
Yeah, if you are a member, I think it's 455. Basically, the math when I was the cost to be a PMI member plus the cost for the exam equaled the same as the cost for the exam as a non-member.
Right.
However, when you're a member, you get all sorts of other benefits that go along with it. So I do recommend being a PMI member.
Right, right. I think I recall it being about $139 to be a member, and then, well, let's not quote prices, but then I remember $405 was what it was in the past. Not sure about now, but let's take a look at this question. And this question, Emily, let me give you this one. It says, how many questions... Let me give you this question. Now we've got a question on the questions. How many questions are on the exam? What percentage are formula related?
Well, there are 200 questions on the PMP exam, 150 questions on the CAPM exam. The PMP exam with 200 questions, you have 4 hours to complete that. So it's pretty quick. You need to go through there. It is possible to take breaks during the exam, but your timer keeps going. So I had a strategy when I took the exam, which was I said, I'm going to go through and answer all the questions, take a break, take a walk, feel good about myself, and then come back and fix things that I want to fix. Well, that didn't happen with timing, so I ended up just getting stressed about it, and just at 2 hours, I ended up taking the break. So I do recommend that you have a strategy regarding this. Now, there are 200 questions on the exam. Only 175 of those actually count towards your score. You cannot tell which ones they do, so I recommend going for 100% and answering them all correctly. But Phil, there was another part to that question, wasn't there, that had to do with you need to know formulas for the exam?
It's asking what percentage of the questions are formula related. Is there any special formula to know how many formula questions you're going to get? The honest truth, I don't think there is. I've seen various permutations and combinations. I remember in a well-known Fortune 500 company I trained in '09, one of the students, he came out of the exam and he said, what kind of drugs are these people on to have written these mad questions? I had so many difficult questions. I'd never seen these before. A lot of them had mathematical equations. I couldn't even think in the exam, Phil, but he passed it. He was just a little bit frazzled. You know, but you really can't tell. I've had other students say, Phil, I went to the exam and I can't believe I only had 3 formula questions. Only 3. Isn't that ridiculous? And then I've had students, you know, like a week ago, there was that student who said, Phil, I had 20 earned value management questions at least. Isn't that a lot? So it's hard to tell. There's really no formula for the formula questions, sorry to say, is there?
And I always loved the formula questions because you know you get those right. When you know the formulas, you can obviously extract the numbers out of the question. You get through those very quickly, and it can help save you some time on the other, in this guy's case, other 180 questions that he had about other things. Yeah.
Exactly. It's really funny because, you know, when we train earned value, those EACs, how many of those EAC formula questions are there again?
There's a few. There's like, well, questions. It varies, you know.
Oh, I should say formulas.
Yeah, there's 3 different formulas for EAC. And then there's an extra one that you can throw in there that's a little too obvious. It's not a formula that we actually have to memorize.
So give me formula.
Yeah,
that's
a formula.
Common sense one, I should say.
Yeah,
but a lot of students, they spend nights trying to cram those formulas. Do you have any tips for how to master? Because I think this student's concern, if I'm reading between the lines, it's like, I don't know formulas, Phil, so, you know, I don't know formulas, Emily. What do you recommend? What can you recommend?
Well, I recommend memorize the formulas first and foremost, so you understand what they are. If you have time, a lot of our students don't have time to go back and relearn all the math that they had. I mean, for me, it had been about 16 years since I'd had a math class. But so memorization is what I did, and I felt very, very not confident with math. I mean, I've since gone on and, you know, gotten an MBA, so I feel really good with math now, and I wish I could go back and take that exam. But I recommend also just practicing. Find as many practice exams as you can, and you have some practice exams that people can access.
Right, there are lots of practice exams, you know. I usually recommend, you know, listen to what Phil and Emily have to say. We know where the good stuff is and where the bad stuff is. At Praizion, we have some online exams. One of the good things about our exams is we're able to collect data over time. So we've seen a trend that every single student who takes our mock exam, our final mock exam, and gets a 70%, all of those students, 100% of them, all pass the real PMP exam. But we found that people who get a 60, a 50, a 40, a 30, they usually have trouble if they take the exam immediately. But if they listen to what we have to say and they put it on the back burner and study more and then go for it, they usually do a lot better, formulas or no formulas. So with that, thank you very much for your audience today, and send in any questions you might have about the PMP exam. It doesn't matter if they're technical questions, be they from quality or risk or cost. We don't care, do we? It could come from anywhere.
Send them in.
Yeah, send them in.